Jim, I want to thank you, and I know that you have some people behind you that help you, and this is my first time to be here in Texas, and my name is Scott Bighorse. I come from the Andrew Bighorse family up in the Wacockley district. Been participating for about 40 years, singing, dancing. We're very proud of our culture. Chief, I want to commend Chief on his immersion program, because I too have a little 14-year-old granddaughter that is coming home speaking Osage. So that is such a huge thing for us. It makes me proud. I began my political career. I've been working in the prison system for about 15 years, and prison systems are really rough to work in. There's a lot of politics in there, believe it or not. It's harder to deal with your staff and your upper echelon than it is the actual inmates. But I had a boss, an old football coach that was working with the youth, and I'd been working in there with these adults and watching these 16 and 17-year-old young men come in there, and that's not pretty. Because when those young people come in there, they're taken over by the older men that have been in there 30, 40 years. And so I had a chance to get out of the adult system and go to work in the juvenile system. So I went up to Osage County Jail, got with the Office of Juvenile Affairs, Youth Services of Osage County, Mr. Harold Huffman, and we devised a plan. The only thing was, the juvenile detention center needed to be placed inside an adult county jail, which is a big no-no. You cannot mix your juvenile population with your adult population. So to make a long story short, we run off the American Correctional Association standards just like the prison did, except for there's very, very fewer for juveniles. I was able to take that Osage County jail, working with the sheriff, and turn that pod into a sight and sound separated entity, so that we would have a place in Osage County to place our youth that were being adjudicated. I worked on both sides of the fence. I worked with the abused, deprived, neglected, and then I worked with the adjudicated also. The adjudicated are the ones that are getting into their first time offenses, getting into trouble, and then we got into some pretty hardcore people. And then our funding started being cut. So just like it is right now today in Oklahoma, you see the teachers on strike. I entered into politics. Same thing. When I entered into politics down there, I ran in 2006, got elected, got down there in 2007. The teachers were in the same shape. And over the past 10 years, they've lost 28% of their funding. That's why they're on strike right now. A third of your funding. If you can imagine, you're losing a third of your funding. Now, I've heard a lot today, and I've heard a lot of good things, but I'm a physical conservative, and you know, I'm all for the expansion of the casinos, because I know what that's going to bring. I'm all for the purchase of that property, but I do think that we need to slow down just a little bit, let these loans get caught up. And then let's look at future ventures. There's many of them out there. I know at one time we were looking at starting an energy company on the executive side, so that we could go out there and drill and hire Osage men to work on those drilling rigs, work on those pulling units, work on the roustabout trucks. There's many avenues in there that we could, as a tribe, be purchasing this equipment and going out and developing our own oil field. Now, as all these congressmen have said, I don't want to get into the minerals affairs. I just want to help. If there's anything I can do to help them, that's all I want to do. I don't want to get into their business. That being said, I do want to step back up into the front and try to help fend off and fight the future wind farms that are still trying to come into Osage County. And I know Chief has a passion for that. I know all the Minerals Council has a passion for that, and I have a passion for that because I too am a shareholder. Right now, it does not look good. We are going to have to load up and go to Washington, D.C. Like they said, Minerals Council, Congress, Chief's office, all of us. We're going to have to go up there and sit, just like our old people did, and tell them what's going on with us, what the BIA is actually doing to us. Because I was there when Miss Phillips made the comment. Well, actually, it wasn't Miss Phillips. Miss Phillips she was ready to do something until Alan Woodcock, our field solicitor, said no. Because the CFR says any conventional mining and or any disturbance of that limestone. And we wanted to go to court over that. And Mr. Woodcock said no. And he stopped the superintendent. And that was one of the days that they said, you got yours, talking about the highest posted price. So the minerals estate is in the shape it is today because of the BIA, a gentleman by the name of Mike Black, and then you can go all the way back up to into Interior. Now, Interior is where you're going to get your action. And it's going to take the chief, assistant chief, the chairman of minerals, all your mineral council, and anybody that you can get from Congress to go up there and get in their face and stay in their face until you get an answer from them. I did that numerous times. I think I'm probably the only one that has made it to the inside of the Pentagon and had all of Obama's cabinet members lined up there. Tried to scold them about NL wanting to drill into our limestone. That forever impedes us from ever developing any limestone if there's a wind turbine there. And then they're paying how much for the surface owner? Well, let's times that by 30 because they're 30 foot into our property. So there's a lot of things going on out there, and we've got good people in place. I've got experience on the executive side. I've got a good relationship with Chief. I've got experience from the state of Oklahoma working as a state representative. I know how to draft legislation, and I am here to help. So I'm asking you for your vote, and thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thanks, Scott. Big hand for Scott.